to making a human understand what the horse needs. Does that kind of make sense there? Because if you were to say, open your ears, your nostrils, and close your mouth, and feel with your fingers, you're already lost, and we hadn't even gotten the saddle yet. Okay? So, but once it's kind of, I don't want to use the term simplified because it sounds like this stuff is simple. It can be simple once you understand the feeling that you have. In other words, when you're on your horse and you bump a rein, that's why I tell you to bump with your fingers, okay? Bump with your fingers, and then you may have to kind of, remember what I said about running? Okay? You may go up there, you may go, okay, bear right there. I'm going to bump and see if you're paying attention. Oh, you're not paying attention? Okay, now we're going to, you see what I'm doing?
Right.
I'm changing his mindset because I'm moving his feet. There's no better feeling when you're asking a horse to back, and that horse steps, and you ask for one foot, and you ask for the other foot, left front, right front, left front, right front. And then all of a sudden, you ask him to go left, right, left, right, left, right, and he just runs backwards for you. Or you say, okay, we're going to go step, 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 step. See what I'm doing?
You're controlling every foot.
Controlling every footfall. Because then you know that horse is partnered up with you. He's not trying to evade you. He's not trying to run away from you. He's not trying to get ahead of you. He's not, none of those things. He's just right there with you. He's waiting. It's like a partner. Waiting to see you. Can't wait to see you. Big hug. Been away for 6 days. Big hug. Same thing. All right? So hopefully that'll kind of make sense to if you're in a situation where you have a little bit of a situation, that kind of stuff, help you out. Okay. And you can do the same thing. Don't forget about that kind of, so I'm riding along and a bear's there. I'm going, okay, I know, I see it. Bump. All right, it goes this way, bump. Oh, you're not listening? Bump. And then shoulder. I know it's there, but now I'm in between you and it, so you got to trust me. Now I may bump him this way a little bit and then go back over here. Then I'm going to turn back around, start back where I was.
What makes him think you're between it and
between your, because here's what happens, is where your body is, your body, even though we see it as well, it's just a leg. He doesn't see it as just a leg. He sees it as a body part that'll get ripped off before one of his will.
Okay, and by turning his head in a little bit, he sees that. That makes sense.
So if you're turning his head this way and moving his shoulder that way.
Okay, so he sees, okay.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, I see it there.
Okay, that makes really good sense.
Okay.
Visual.
So there again, the biggest thing is thinking. Don't think like a human. In those kinds of situations, here's what you think. If I was him, I couldn't speak or I couldn't do anything verbal, and I can't hoof sign you. Okay? I can't move my lips and you read lips. How would you communicate to someone who's controlling and dictating to you on their back? How would you get through to them?
We're going to have to act out.
Or you're going to have to give them some trust because you've been in other situations where they've trusted you and got you through it.
So that builds trust.
Every time, that's why we talk about going to a little bit different level each time. Whenever you go to that little bit different level, you're going to that different level, for yourself. Anybody who's ever accomplished anything has had fear. Somebody who's never accomplished anything and became a champion at something or really good at something, listen, if they've said they've never had fear, they're lying. Because fear is proven to be a driven motivator for success on the other side. Okay? But it's not that knee-knocking fear. It's that fear that, listen, this is pretty scary. But my confidence kicks in because I'm prepared for anything that should arise. Because I've done it so many times on the ground, I know that my horse is going to listen to me. And if your horse isn't listening to you, don't put yourself in that situation. You're not ready. that's a simple fact. You're not ready for it yet. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't forget, everybody started, well, what's this thing with bristles on the end of it and got a little metal thing and got a handle? That's called a hoof pick. Now, I don't know one person that jumped out of the womb and reached up and grabbed one off of the table and said, this is a hoof pick. All right? So everybody, point being is that everybody learns from here and then sticking a toe there and going there. But where we get in trouble is we overface ourselves. Especially, excuse me, we overface ourselves in life. You know, it's like you just ripped a guy out of the McDonald's who's sitting there punching pictures, and you said, hey, listen, come with me. I'm going to make you CEO of a company tomorrow. You take him, throw a suit on him, give him a briefcase, teach him a couple of words, and send him in there. And he walks in there, and you might be able to make him fool everybody for 10 minutes. It's what happens after that the problem's going to be. So anybody can learn a couple of words and a little thing to make your horse look cool, but it's the longevity. And the only way you learn that longevity is by being there and pushing a little bit more. But if you can't control the shoulder at a walk, you can't control it at a trot, you can't control it at a lope or a canter. Right? So it's the same thing. Same thing. You can't stop without being a lawn dart. You can't stop at a walk. You can't stop at a trot. You can't stop at a lope. Transitions, definition of a transition. Everybody goes, oh, walk, trot, lope, walk, jog, canter, whatever you want to say. Transition is preparation for anything different than what you're currently doing. It may be picking up a rein, maybe sitting a little taller, maybe dropping a seat a little bit more. But it's anything that you're preparing to do. Side pass, turn on the forehand, turn on the haunches, back up. Transition is anything different than you're currently doing, setting up to do something else. Right? So, in the same token, like, see how easy he's moving right there? Okay? That's what we want to have. That's why I said do the drill where there's no hands. No hands of direction on the rein. It's all about your legs and your seat. So where you're sitting there, hands are here. Only time that you block, like you're a goalie, somebody's trying to kick the soccer ball in, you're going to block. Okay? So all you're going to do is horse goes forward, you block. But you have your rein control to where you don't end up way up here, you know, to where you're here. Block and then release. Block and release. But you don't take the leg off when you block. So if I'm asking him to move his hip to the right and I'm putting my left leg on it, okay, and he goes to walk forward, I block, but my foot's still there. But I've got to block and release. If I block and hold, now I'm a dictator. I'm demanding that you do it. It's why whenever I first saddle colts and whenever I start riding them, I don't ever tie them up when I saddle them. I'll drape a lead rope across my arm, throw the pad up, throw the saddle up. That's what I'll do. Because I don't want him to be under, I'm not going to demand that he stand there. And if he's hemmed up, he's got nowhere to go. He can't make any decisions with that. Okay? And the biggest thing is the more that you let go of the control, the more control you gain. Because that's where the trust comes in. Okay? But if we're constantly just drilling on them to, that's why I said 50-50, just like Marion last night, same thing. But you have enough rein and you have enough leg to where you can drive that horse. If I'm on a horse and that horse is dropping the shoulder in real bad, well, I may get up there and drive him over hard and then go back to soft. Pick him up. But my rein control, I'm always working with my hands. Because you don't get in your truck and leave them at 10 and 2 and drive everywhere like that. So it's the same thing with your horse. Now, if we're doing equitation or, you know, we're a showing or something, that's a totally different deal. We're not talking about that. We're talking about being effective first and pretty later. Pretty effective. All right? Okay. So now, let's do a little bit of a shoulder drill, a little bit. Okay.
So am I doing that shoulder drill right?
Yeah, so what I'd like to see you do is you see where his mane is? The long part of his mane on, look to your right. Put your hand down there. Go ahead, keep going down, reach down far enough here. Reach down there, shorten that range. Do it like that. Now sit up and move your shoulder over. Go the other way. Hard. See how you got your fingers like this? You got your fingers like this? Grab you some. Get you a handful.
Do you want me to like bend down and do it?
Yeah, so then sit up tall, and then pick him up and move him.
So,
Now sit up, now pick him up and move him. Close your hands. Go that way. There you go now. Keep walking. Now close your hands like you got two fists. Now pick him up, move him on. There you go. Good. Now you can be a little soft. Now you can go back to fingers. Now, close your hands, pick him up and move him the other way. There you go. Good. I want to see something. If you're not getting a little bit of a reaction, he's just going, yeah, it's just mom up there. Well, that's what he's going to do whenever you go to correct him sometime too. He's going to fluff you off. He's going to get you in trouble. There you go. Good. Okay. Now break that into a little bit of a trot here. Stop. Back up. Fingers, fingers, fingers. Now go forward. Now, there you go, good. That shoulder. Just remember, sometimes you're going to close complete hands. Not dramatic fingers like that. Alright? Just close up. You got to be as firm as you need to be and as fair as you can. Now move your shoulder over. There you go, good. Good. Now move your shoulder over to the left. See, he cheats you right there. See how you did that? All you did was turn. He didn't cross one leg. Now go up.